What's up, guys? So today I wanted to talk about kind of a reaction video to one of my favorite YouTubers, Maddie, aka used to be Travel Feels, saying that iPhone photography sucks. And with the new iPhones coming out, I just feel like I had to make this video because as an iPhone owner, he's absolutely right. So the reason why iPhones suck is you don't get depth of field with all the lenses, and all these people are saying, oh, well, photography is an art, so it's not about the equipment and stuff like that. That's true, but if you only have one color of crayon or paint, then how much can you really express your artistic creativity, right? You can't. Plus they make lower end cameras, higher end cameras, all of them are much better than this as long as they can have your lens selection, right? So if you have an interchangeable lens camera, that's awesome. It doesn't matter if it costs $400 or $6,000. My point is, before people run off and invest what is now $1,100 to $1,500 for the newest smartphones on the market, just keep your old one and then go buy a camera. So a lot of people don't really understand why you should buy a camera versus just using your iPhone. So you get shallow depth of field whenever you get your lenses. You can get a 50mm 1.8 lens, put it on a crop sensor camera, which is pretty affordable, and you're already kind of in that telephoto range. So your portraits are going to be way better, and you don't have to worry about that technology that you're trying to mimic with the iPhone portrait modes and stuff like that. So a lot of confusion over megapixels. The sensor in this is extremely small. The sensor and the camera is significantly bigger than this, which means that it's going to be better in low light situations. It's going to help capture a better image. Plus you're going to get an ability to shoot RAW. I know Apple has recently went to some crazy new super compressed so you can fit more photos on your phone type of technology. RAW is going to be a much bigger file. You can actually edit them on your computer, and you have a lot of room to play around with them. Once again, you have more paints, more colors. You're going to be able to do more things with those things. If you're still hung up on it's an art thing, there's going to be a certain time where working with crayons is just not going to be good enough. And you're gonna have to move into other mediums, mixed mediums and stuff like that, right? So when you go with an interchangeable lens camera, you get wide angle lenses like we're using right now. You get telephoto lenses, and you can alter how far away the subject looks like he's from the background, and you get to tell a story this way, because if you watch movies, they usually have a reference scene, which is wide angle. And then whenever they need to kind of get close up, they're going to get a mid shot, which is where you spend a lot of your time. There's ways that you can do that with your phone if you just kind of use your feet or whatever, but it's kind of not the same thing. So before you run out and replace your $1,100 Facebook machine, which is basically what most people use it for anyways, yes, there are people that need the fanciest, newest technology, and that's what they're into. That's completely separate. But I don't plan on benchmarking my phone. I just need it to work. I need it to call people, receive text messages, play on social media, and I don't need the newest multi-core processor in order to do that. I would rather invest my money into camera equipment, which I have done. So my track record shows that I put my money where my mouth is, and I think that is just much better for me. I know a lot of people were complaining about the money situation for cameras. We all have our vices. You spend your money on some things. We eat a lot of our money away, especially if you're lazy and you go out to eat all the time. You could have already had your stuff. So what I've done from the ground up is kind of this is my setup. I know it seems awesome and must be nice, right? More of it is just doing from the very beginning $50 photo sessions, $100 photo sessions, basically doing any job I possibly could. And every single dollar that I got that I didn't have to spend on bills and stuff, went directly into more camera equipment and computer parts and upgrades and stuff like that. So that's how I did it. I don't have like rich parents. I didn't have like a Harvard law degree, and now I do this as like a side thing. I quit my job. I went full-time photographer. I grinded for like a few years, and that's how I got the equipment that I have right now. If you compare any of the phone cameras to like a real camera, the real camera crushes it every time. It's not even close. Interchangeable lenses, you're going to get more bigger files to play with, and you're gonna get to shoot with RAW and all the other advantages that come with a regular camera. So yes, if this is all you have and they say the best camera is the one you have on you, of course we all use these things. But once you start using a regular camera and editing your photos properly in Lightroom or something like that. I accidentally hit Film Riot. That's pretty funny. Once you start investing into your own equipment and your time into learning how to edit photos properly and stuff like that, it directly translates over into how you live on the mobile world. Like, yes, I know there are some apps and stuff out there to help you edit and stuff, and those are great. Filters, or whatever you call them. In the regular editing world, we would call them presets. There are presets to help you get along the way. So like the jump into getting a camera, getting an SD card, putting it in your computer, learning how to edit, just start out with presets. Get away from this thing when possible. Yes, this is awesome if this is all you have, but I go through the pain of bringing around my camera to places for a reason. Like, if this did the job, these things would be out of business. So without this camera, I wouldn't be able to get shots like this and this. And granted, those were not shallow depth of field shots, but the ability to play around with those images were basically the only way that they came out as good as possible. So I've seen a ton of people putting their phones up trying to capture the same shot, and I guarantee you that the one I got was much better because of the equipment and the technology. Has nothing to do with the photographer. It does a little bit about the editing skills, but that's just it. Like, he nailed it. Congrats. If he motivates you to go out and get a camera and try it out, you'll probably message him again and say, hey, like, thanks for the advice. Because without the perspective of owning these things and playing with them and thinking that this is good enough, I always said it's kind of like that square pizza that you get in elementary school. Like, that was awesome. But when you get older and you realize there's like New York style pizza and Chicago deep dish and stuff like that, you realize that the pizza they gave you in elementary school kind of sucked. And now that you have like this experience, you can kind of pick and choose what you really want at that moment. And the same thing goes for photography, videography. Sometimes you're just hungry and you want to eat the square pizza. That's all you got, right? But if you had the choice, I would have this every single time. So hopefully that kind of persuades some people to get a real camera and go out, try it out, get away from the iPhone stuff, and stop spending your money trying to get a better iPhone camera. It's pointless. Just buy a regular camera.